Good morning. Good morning. I need some music. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How are you? How are you? Hi, J&D. Good to see you this morning. Good to see you. Good to see you. I don't know if you've been to my page before. I'm Jen the Grand Guru. How are you? How are you? I'm just going to wait a few more minutes to see who comes dragging in here so that we can get started. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning. So listen, we are going to go ahead and get started. Hi, good morning, good morning. Good to see you, good to see you. Happy Friday, happy Friday. Good morning. Hi, Per Vintage. God bless you. Thank you for coming in. Good morning. Good morning. Well, it's morning where I am. I'm in California, so I'm saying good morning like it's morning everywhere. I am in California. Where are you guys chiming in for? Hi, good morning, Pamela. God bless you. God bless you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. So listen, I'm not going to be before you long. I just wanted to give you guys some encouragement on this Friday. For those of you guys who are new to me, I'm Jen the Grand Guru. I've got close to 30 years of experience from Chicago. Oh, you're on the West Coast. Are you in Vegas? I hope you're enjoying your trip here to the West Coast. Awesome. I used to live in Beloit, Wisconsin. I used to spend a lot of time in Chicago. Montgomery. I went to school at Tuskegee. I got my first ticket in Montgomery, Alabama. I got my first speeding ticket. Actually, I got my second speeding ticket too in Montgomery, Alabama. Going from Tuskegee up to the mall. Oh, all right. Awesome. 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 Yeah, it was bad. Back-to-back weekends. Those were the only two tickets I've ever gotten in my life. And they were both in Montgomery, Alabama. That is so funny. So yes, I am in California. You guys know that my career has spanned close to 30 years of helping nonprofit organizations identify grant funding as well as other funding organizational systems to help them move forward in their programs, right? So I work with organizations primarily. Hi, Joe. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for joining. So I help nonprofit organizations identify how to get funding, grant funding, finances, either through corporations, major donors, individuals, create systems to help them not only grow their program, but to sustain their programs, right? We have been talking the last couple of weeks or so about sustainability. Hi, Rhodes Finest. Thank you so much for joining. We have been talking about sustainability. Last night, I did an amazing class. I did an amazing webinar about outcomes management, because I've been sharing that most nonprofits fail. Most nonprofits fail because they do not have a plan for sustainability. They are not clear on how to communicate their impact and leadership, right? I will call you after my scope. You will call me. Oh, okay, great. I've got a call at 11. So yeah, at 12. So yeah, that'd be great. Thank you guys. If you want to invite your followers to join. Hello, lady. How are you? How are you? Miss Plateau Rain. Good to see you. Good to see you. Thank you so much for inviting followers. So listen, guys, one of the things that I really want to encourage you to think about over the weekend as we prepare for the, thank you so much for sharing with your followers. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I want you guys to think about that as we prepare for the training on Wednesday. The training on Wednesday is going to be about finances, sustainability. Hi, Blues Beach. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for joining. I am Jen the Grand Guru. I help organizations identify their sustainability plans, their fundraising plans to help their nonprofits grow, right? Sustainability. Sustainability is my message. I just did a training last night. Hello, 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 hello. I did a training last night on outcomes management because I've been sharing impact, being able to communicate your impact. It was an amazing training. These are the people who are in the current boot camp, right? So I did this training for those who are in the current boot camp as a part of their fee. And so I decided that if you all are interested in learning how you can communicate your program impact, what does that mean? How are you able to communicate to a funder, a grantor, an individual or corporation, a major donor, your impact? Now listen to me very carefully. Most assume that I can get a grant and I can get my 501c3 and then I can start applying for grants. As a grant writer, as a grant researcher, and a grant reviewer, whoever you hire to write your grants, they need to be able to understand your organizational impact, which is different than your activity. Impact is not the same as activity. You have got to be able to have systems in place to communicate impact. Okay? That is what is going to, indicators that is going to be able to communicate the value of your program. And you want to communicate that to a grantor, whoever you're applying for. They want to know, what is your program? What is your program outcomes? What are your program activities? How does that then tie in with your mission? And then what is the cost of that, right? Still losing. Oh, don't kill yourself, all right? Be careful, be careful, be careful. So listen, guys, when you guys are putting together your programs and you are trying to decide what to do in terms of sustainability. Hi, Moncherie. Good to see you again. God bless you. When you guys are looking to for sustainability, you want to be able to focus on your impact. All right. Hi, you're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you for joining. So guys, I have put together another training. Hi, Jamil. Thank you so much for joining. I missed one. I'm so sorry. Thank you for joining. So guys, I am Jen the Grand Guru. I've got close to 30 years of experience raising funds with and for nonprofit organizations. I help you design your programs for your organization for sustainability. Right? Help you find and identify, help you identify the best grants for your programs, but also inspire you to think about your organizational sustainability. What is your annual plan for sustainability? It's more than a grant. You need more than a grant. All right. So when we're talking about raising money for your organizations, not just to fund your program, which is important, but how to make sure that your organization has a plan for sustainability, we also need to get to your program impact, not activities, but impact, because it is because of your impact that you were able to raise money. All right. So do you know your program impact? I am doing a training on the 13th. So this coming week, I'm doing a training on what? Finance. Not just fundraising, but finance. How your organization should have a structure within to look at your organizational budget to understand not just how I'm going to fund this program, but what is my plan? What is my fundraising plan to finance my entire organization for the year? I am going to lay out that plan, you guys. I am going to show you how within your organization, with your board, with your volunteers, with your activities. Every activity should lead to finance. Every activity should lead to finance. Every activity should lead to finance. All right? If you guys have any questions, now would be the time to ask them before I hop off, okay? Now would be the time to ask them. So guys, listen. This coming week, I am doing a class on funding your nonprofit. I've got close to 30 years of experience doing this, guys. 30 years of experience. Grant writing, grant research, grant review. I am trying to help you as y'all are running around trying to hire a grant writer. You need more than a grant writer. Now, a grant writer is going to take your check, cash your check, and not guarantee you anything. And if you cannot explain to that grant writer your impact, it is not their job to come up with your impact. You need to know your program impact. And it is based upon your program impact and the value that you put on that in the budget is what the grantor will decide if you are worthy of their funds, of the award, because there is limited dollars that the grantor has to give. It's a competitive process. Okay? Hi, DMV. Good to see you. Good to see you. There are limited funds, right? So I, as a reviewer, am looking at funds, impact, and being able to explain impact. I have said this the last couple of days, guys. What is good afternoon, it's still morning where I am. What are the limitations of why most nonprofit organizations, particularly you guys who are brand spanking new, no plan, been missing me? Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm glad you were able to get in on it live then. Excuse me. You guys, it's being able to plan for your organization's sustainability. This is why most organizations fail, particularly brand new organizations, because no thought has been put into sustainability. That's key. That's key. That's key. The other is that they're not able to adequately express their impact. All right. So I have put together a training. I did one last night for those who are in the boot camp, because we are going through their grant proposal process, right? They're in the boot camp. We're going into the 4th week, and they are loving the boot camp. They are having a great time. I am so proud of them. I asked them last night, I said, so tell me, what have you learned in these last 3 weeks that you didn't know? And they were like, I had no idea how much I didn't understand program. I knew what I wanted to do, but I didn't know how to put it on paper. I didn't know. I'm excited for you to start as well. All of them were like, Jen, my eyes have been opened. My eyes have been opened. Next week, we're working on their budget. Last night, we talked about their outcomes, their impact. How are they then going to be able to communicate their impact to the grantor and to other funders, right? I'm realizing that my market is all over the place. Yeah. And we bring focus, right? That's what the boot camp does. Thank you so much for inviting your followers. I appreciate that. And thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the hearts. And thank you to the replay viewers for your hearts as well. This is what the boot camp was designed for, okay? We'll have to catch you on replay. Connection really bad. Be careful, sweetheart. Drive safely, okay? We put focus. That is why I designed the boot camp. I designed the boot camp because everyone says to me, Jen, I don't know where to start. I don't know where to start. I don't know where to start. And I'm like, all right, well then let's start. Let's start. Let's start with going through a real grant proposal. Thank you for coming and thank you for inviting. Thank you for inviting. Jamia, thank you so much. What happens when you feel like you can help multiple people? What happens when you feel like you can help? Well, then you got to prioritize. You got to prioritize. You can help as many people as you want to in an organized fashion and with enough money to support that help, right? So it's not just the help, but it's the impact of that help. But it's too broad. That is why you need to be in boot camp. No, it's not broad. It's not broad. It is we get down to the specifics of how and how much does that cost. No, it's not broad. It's not broad. That's because you don't have focus. There's no focus. There's no focus. And there's priorities. There are levels, right? But you within an organization that's reasonable within your current capacity, that is what we get to with. Now listen to this. I, as a funder, you have an organization, you have all these ideas, right? And I have people who say to me, Jen, I have all these ideas. Where do I start? I'm telling you, by the first week, everyone was like, I understand my focus. Not that you can't do a lot of activities, but you've got to know that there is impact in every activity. It's not just activity. It's not like I'm just doing stuff. No, what is the impact? Because if you know the impact, then you know this is the valuable activity. This is what I should be doing, not what I want to do. I just want to do this. How do I know I need to do that? How do you know they need to do that? That is what we do in the boot camp. Now, it's hard. Hi, Being Jess. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for joining. It's hard to describe it because Most of us are just so overrun with ideas of we see a need, but when we are in the boot camp, we get down to what really is the need. What is the need? Really, what is the need? And I have a system and a structure to help us get to that. And then once we get to that and we understand your mission, every activity should tie to your mission. Does it tie to your mission? If yes, then what are the activities to make sure that your mission is being accomplished? How do you know? That is where the impact comes from. And then how much does it cost? All right? So it's not all over the place. Funding for all over the place does not exist. That does not exist. A fundor, a grantor, an